So we are all here, and I'm glad to see that everyone is all here. So I'm going to slide back a little bit in the chair, and I'm just going to do the centering here in the chair on Friday because I'm already here. This is where I am. So I'm going to stay right here. So just settle back in the chair and kind of wiggle your bottom down into the seat of the chair. Feel the sits bones on the seat, and then rest the back against the back of the chair. And I hope you have sort of a straight back chair, and I kind of hope it's easy to move around too, because when I do chair classes, especially, you need to move the chair, but in this class, not so much. So everyone take a deep breath in, and then open the mouth and let it go. And take that second deep breath. And sigh it out. And just feel the body release with those long exhales. And either close the eyes or find that soft focus. Bring the chin in just a little bit so the neck is long. Notice any pain, any discomfort that you have today. And just releasing from the face down through the neck and the shoulders, the hips, the legs, the feet and the toes, and the arms and hands. And I'd like to say relax the toenails and the fingernails. Nowhere to go, nothing to do. In the moment. And follow the flow of the breath. And let the breath deepen here, inhaling more into the belly than the middle chest and into the upper chest. Continuing to release. And you can adjust or shift to move the head. Good, and one more deep breath in. And sigh it out. Yeah, good. So move a little bit and we come back to the mat now. Ah, yes. It's kind of nice to be able to come back into this cross-legged seat without my left hip talking to me. So come up tall in your seat, wherever you are, and then draw the shoulders back. Continuing that deep breathing and that Ujjayi breath. And we'll start this morning by bringing the arms wide with the palms facing down toward the floor. Let the shoulders release down here. And feel the strength in the arms as you reach out through the fingertips. And turn the palms up toward the ceiling, pressing the pinky fingers up. Still keeping the shoulders down and the heart toward the top of the mat. And on your next inhale, let the hands come up. And the hands can touch, if that's okay with your shoulders. And then exhaling, turn the palms out and bring the hands down. One more this way, turning the palms up, inhaling. And exhaling. Bring the hands to the knees and then bring the hands out in front of your next inhale and let the hands lift up in front. Take the gaze to the ceiling and now turn the palms toward the front. Press out through the palms or the heels of the hands as the hands come down. One more time, reaching forward and up. Turning the palms forward, pressing out through the heels of the hands, exhaling, the hands come down. Good, coming back to that upright seat. Lift the shoulders up toward the ears and then take the points of the shoulders back. Let your shoulder blades come toward the center and down. And then gently move the head so the neck stays relaxed. And now release. And on your next inhale, take the shoulders toward the ears. And the shoulders come back and down. Exhaling. Release. And inhaling the shoulders to the ears. And bring the shoulders back and down. Yeah. Hold the shoulders back. Let the heart press toward the top of the mat. And then release. And now you can bicycle the shoulders, take one shoulder forward, the other back, and then the other way. And just kind of rolling here. And gently loosening the neck at the same time, go the other way. Good, now lifting back to that upright seat. And take the left hand across, we'll twist to the right. The right hand comes behind, let the shoulders release. And on your exhale, turn the hips and the belly and then the shoulders. And finally the head turns. And inhaling, come to the front, bring the right hand across, left hand behind, exhaling to the left. And these don't have to be anything wonderful and magnanimous here. So let's go to the right, extending the right arm if you'd like, gazing back toward the thumb, which pointed straight up. And coming back to the center and that same extended twist to the left. And coming back to center. Good, all right. Bring the hands out in front with the palms up and take the thumb to the index finger and press the other fingers away. And then the thumbs to the middle fingers. You're still breathing, right? Thumbs to the ring fingers. and thumbs to the pinky fingers. Oh my goodness. I have an excuse in my right hand. I had surgery on my right ring finger when I was very young. And now bring the thumbs back to the ring fingers, and then the middle fingers, and the index fingers. And then release, so wiggle the fingers and roll the wrists. Good, bring the hands out in front with the palms down toward the floor. And then come into either bird beak with fingers and thumbs together and fingers pointed down, or into fists, and then turn the knuckles down toward the floor. Lift up tall here, don't slouch. It's always something to think about, right? Feeling the sensation in the forearms. Remember, no pain, or we hope there's no pain, and we move to sensation. And then opening the hands wide, the palms still facing down. Really spread the fingers. And now turn the palms in and bring the hands together, reaching the fingers forward. And on the next inhale, let the hands lift up toward the ceiling, as far as they'll go reasonably comfortably. And then turn the gaze straight ahead and bring the arms back by the ears. Ah, yes. Take a big long deep breath here. And then exhaling, turn the palms out and bring the hands down and in. Take a deep breath. Bring the right arm out in front. Stay tall, and as you inhale, let the hand lift up to the ceiling. Good. Palm faces to the left. Gaze is toward the ceiling without straining the neck. Soften the face as you reach to the ceiling. And bring the left hand out, slide it out, arc over to the left. Being mindful that the right sits bone is on the mat or the block, wherever you are. Reaching up and out. Turn the gaze down toward the left hand on the floor. Ah, yes. But keep the right shoulder back. And now bring the gaze gently back up toward the ceiling. Take the right hand back up, still reaching, and then release the right arm down, and a little motion, a little movement in the right shoulder and in the right arm. Notice any sensations you feel in the right arm, in the right hand, and the right shoulder. And extend the left arm out in front. Lifting tall as you inhale, the hand lifts. Good, reaching and breathing. And bring the right hand out and slide it out. And then turn the gaze down toward the right hand on the floor. And then the gaze lifts back toward the ceiling, still reaching, fingers spread. Bring the left hand to the ceiling, draw it down into the shoulder as you reach high. And exhaling, release on the left. And just notice the sensations. Good, this breathing thing, I'm a new student in my chair class, and a couple of times during the practice, I'd say, and take a deep breath, and all of a sudden she noticed that she wasn't breathing. which is unusual for me because I've practiced so long that breathing is just part of it. But I have to keep remembering that people, especially new folks, sometimes don't remember to breathe. Good. Bring the hands behind, interlace the fingers, press the heels of the hands together, and then find the sacrum with the thumbs and gently lift up, moving the elbows toward the center. And now extend the arms, straighten the arms, still squeezing the hands, still staying tall here, lifting the hands back toward the back of the mat, moving the hands toward the back of the mat. And then move the hands over to the right, point the right elbow toward the back of the mat, keeping the chest toward the front of the mat. And bring the hands to center and over to the left. Left elbow draws toward the center of the mat. And bring the hands to center. Again, press the hands toward the back of the mat. And now move the heart forward and down, coming into a fold over the legs and lifting the hands up toward the ceiling. One more breath. Inhaling, lifting back up. Release the interlaced fingers and bring the hands to cup the knees. And as you inhale, take the gaze up to the ceiling. Shoulders back and down. Exhaling, round back with the chin coming down toward the chest. Long, deep inhale in, lifting up, pressing the chest forward, lifting the gaze. And exhaling, chin toward the chest, rounding back. And just release as you come back. And one more, inhaling, gaze lifts. And exhale, chin toward the chest, rounding back. And inhaling, come back to that upright seat. Bring the hands behind the hips with the fingers pointing toward the top of the mat. And then just lean back, supporting yourself with your hands. Let the head fall back. And just breathe here. Release the hips. And if you choose, you can lift the hips up toward the ceiling. And then bring the hips back down, coming back up to that upright seat. Yes. So I'm going to put my block to the side, coming into table. Pad those knees if you want. I'm going to start by just doing some gentle movements here in table, feeling down through the fingertips, the palms of the hands, softening the heart so we're not hunched up. And with the elbows, the points of the elbows coming in toward the center. So you're kind of drawing the hands toward the center as you rotate those elbows in. And with the gaze straight down, take the hips out to the right. Bringing the weight onto the right knee. And this, again, can be a gentle movement for sure. And now center and take the hips to the left. And moving to center and hips to the right. And center and left. And coming back to center. Inhale here, and as you exhale, this time we're going to take the hips to the left, but the gaze is going to go to the right, past the right shoulder toward the back of the mat. Inhaling, come to center. And that same bend to the left, gazing past the left shoulder. Coming back to center. One more time, take that bend to the right, gazing right. And center, and hips move right, gaze left. And coming back to center. Oh, good. Open the knees a little wide, take the hips back toward the heels. Bring the hands or the arms in, cross the arms, rest the head on your arms. Or you can have the hands down by your feet, head resting on a block. There's a lot of ways that you can do your resting pose. Yeah, and just breathe here. Walk the hands up toward the top of the mat, but keep the elbows down, and the elbows can be a little bit wide, but the hands are shoulder width, elbows a little bit wide, and then let the head settle down toward the mat. And lifting the head, take the hands all the way up there, up toward the top of the mat, keeping the hips back toward the heels, and release the head again down toward the mat. So now the arms are straight, elbows are lifted. And lifting the head, take the hands off the mat to the right side, bring the left hand onto the right, and let the head move down toward the right knee. Keeping the left hip back. And lifting up, hands come to center and over to the left, right hand on left. And bring the hands to center. Just do some gentle flow here. Again, the elbows are lifted, fingers are out there in front. And as you inhale, come up and forward into knee plank. Bring the shoulder blades onto the back. Keeping the neck long, gazing down. As you exhale, take the hips back toward the heels. Let the head release. Inhaling, coming forward into knee plank. Turn those elbows into the center. Exhaling, coming back toward the heels. And inhaling, coming forward into knee plank. And now gently let the hips move down toward the mat and take the gaze straight ahead. One breath. And then exhale and take the hips back. Inhaling, come back up into table. Excuse me. Extend the right leg with the toes down on the mat. Let the hip release, the right hip. Let the heart soften. And then gently press back through the right heel. Lift the right foot hip height. And spend a breath or two in awkward pose if you choose, extending the left arm. And bring the hand down, bring the right foot down. Turn the right heel in and down. Take the left foot out to the side, the left. And if you want your block for your hand, that's fine, or spider fingers. But now extend the right arm to the ceiling. Point the right toes away toward the back of the mat. Breathing. And coming up, take the right hand to the inside of the right leg and arc over the right leg toward the back of the mat, keeping the left shoulder in line with the leg, the extended leg. And coming up, bringing the left hand down to the mat, just lift the right leg and extend up toward the ceiling with the right arm. And bring the right foot down. Take that left foot back onto the mat and come back into table and take a breath. You can come down to your resting pose, crossing the arms. And come back up into table. Extend the left foot behind, toes on the mat. Gently pressing back. And lift the left foot. Strong through the heel. Into awkward pose for a breath or two. And bring the right hand down. Bring the left foot down, spin the heel in and down. Right foot rotates out to the right. Pointing the toes away on the left foot and reaching to the ceiling. Gaze lifts up toward the ceiling and drawing that lifted arm back. Good, all right. And coming up, take the left hand to the inside of the extended leg, arcing over the left leg toward the back of the mat. right hand up toward the ceiling, down to the mat, lifting the left leg, reaching to the ceiling, flex that left foot. And bring the foot down, bring the hand down, bringing the right foot back onto the mat, into table, and back to your resting pose. Just release the low back. Good, lifting the head, walk the hands up toward the top of the mat again, shoulder width. Inhale, bringing the knees in a little bit, come forward into knee plank. Inhale here, and as you exhale, bend the elbows and come down onto your belly. Good. Bring the toes to touch, the big toes. Inhale, come up to cobra. Feel the strength in the legs and kneecaps are off the mat. And then release that. Bring the elbows up under the shoulders, coming into Sphinx. Release the toes. And take a breath here in Sphinx. Bring the right forearm across under the face and come over onto the left hip. And bend the top knee, the left knee. Reach back with the left hand to the foot. And keep the knees, or think about keeping the knees stacked, left knee on top of right, and gently draw the heel toward the hip. And now kick the foot away, still holding onto it with the left hand, opening the left shoulder into a gentle half bow. And then release the foot, bring the hand to the inside of the knee, to the big toe, taking the left foot to the ceiling. One more deep breath. Good. Release the toe, bring the left hand down to the mat. The left foot is lifted, toes pointing to the front of the mat. And now slowly lower the left leg down. Point the toes and lift the leg back up. Flex the foot and lower. Point the toes and lift. Flex the foot and lower. 4, 3, 2, 1, and down. Good. Strong through that elbow, that's right elbow on the mat. Now lift the left leg with the toes pointed out to the side. Side lift here, and then lower the leg, lifting the leg, and lower, and lift the leg, and lower that leg down. And come gently back over into Sphinx. Take a breath here, and if you want, you can widen the elbows and take the right side of the face to the mat. And the left side of the face. And come back up into your Sphinx and bring the left forearm across under the face. Come onto the left hip. Stay strong through that left shoulder as you bend the top knee, the right knee, and gently draw that foot toward the hip for the quad stretch. And now kick the foot away, move it away gently into a half bow. And releasing the foot, bring the hand to the inside, find the big toe with the piece, those two fingers, index and middle finger. Foot to the ceiling. And now release the toe, right hand down to the mat, strong through that right leg as you slowly lower down. Point the toes and lift. Flex and lower. Point and lift. And flex the foot and lower. 4, 3, 2, 1, and down. Good. Staying along here, keeping those right toes pointed to the side. Gently lift the right leg. And then lower the right leg down. Lift the right leg. And lower. And lift. And lower. And come back over into Sphinx. Elbows wide. Right side of the face to the mat. And now the left side. Bring the hands in under the shoulders and then gently press up into table. Let's do this other leg stretch, which is really good for the inside of the hamstrings. Just take that right foot out to the right, slide it forward, point the toes in, flatten the foot, and then gently move the hips toward the back of the mat. With that little bend in the right knee. Good. See if you can relax here and release. Soften the face. But the right leg is active. I mean, it isn't real tight, but you're working the muscles in the right leg. One more breath. And now coming forward, bring that right knee back in on the mat beside the left. Wag your tail, move a little bit. And now take the left foot out to the left, sliding it forward, flatten the foot. Find where you want that foot to be, and then gently move the hips toward the back of the mat. One more breath. And coming forward, bring the left knee in beside the right. Good. Let's come up into downward dog, curling the toes and lifting the hips straight up to the ceiling. Let the head go. You can actually move the head a little bit to keep the neck relaxed. With the knees bent, pressing the heart back toward the bent knees. And then left heel toward the mat, then the right. Walk in the dog, we call it. And step the feet up toward the hands. Inhale, come to half lift. Feeling the toes on the mat, feeling the feet on the mat. Bringing the shoulder blades onto the back, pressing the belly toward the toes. Ah, yes. Bend the knees, come to your forward fold. Just let the top of the head release toward the mat. Do the heels. Notice the heels turned out slightly, the outside edges of the feet parallel to the edges of the mat. Bend the knees and press into the mat with the feet. Rounding up, taking the arms wide, and lifting the hands to the ceiling. Strong pressing down into the mat with the feet as you reach to the ceiling with the fingers. Exhale, the palms out and the hands down. Oh yeah, pretty good. So a couple of ways you can do side bends here from standing. I'll give you a couple of examples and you can pick the one you really like. So inhale and bring the hands up. One of the things you can do is take a hold of the left wrist with the right hand and you can arc over to the right, kind of drawing or pulling a little bit gently on that left arm and then come up. And now the other side, grasping the right wrist with the left hand, coming over to the left. That's one. Another way is you can interlace the fingers. And now you can take the hands to the right, hips left, and you can actually press with the right arm, right hand, to lengthen through the left arm and the left side of the body. Coming to center And then take the hands to the left, again pressing with the left hand to lengthen the right side of the body. And back up. Or the last option, you can turn the palms to the ceiling. And then the hands come to the right and up and to the left and up. Good. Turn the palms back to face you, releasing the hands back down. And that was pretty good work on the shoulders. So just move the shoulders. Yoga flop. So now when we do side bends, you can choose the one you like. That all goes back to making it your practice. Our spinal flow. So, of course, the spinal flow is the other side bend option too. So pressing down with the feet into mountain pose. Inhale the hands up. And the fourth option is bring the right hand down or to the right. Inhale up. The left hand down or to the left. Inhale up. And the hands parallel to the arms parallel to the floor, palms up, twisting right. And you spiral into these twists. Inhale up. And that spiral twist to the left, arms wide. Inhaling up. Bring the hands through the heart, long spine as you hinge with bent knees into the forward fold. Ah, yes. Release. And inhaling the hands out in front, long spine here pressed into the mat, coming up. Exhaling the hands back on the ceiling. Inhaling up, gaze ahead. Exhale the hands down. Ah, good. All right. And we'll do head to knees. So step back with the right foot and bring, and they can be back a little bit or a lot, wherever you want to be, but keep the hips square to the top of the mat. And bring the hands behind, interlace the fingers, reverse prayer if that's in your practice. Squeeze the heels of the hands together. Exhale and fold over the left leg. Draw the left hip back and gently lift the hands to the ceiling as you release the top of the head toward the toes. Now lengthen, inhaling, come up, and press the hands toward the mat, lifting the gaze to the ceiling and pressing the hips forward, that right hip. Move it toward the top of the mat. And coming up. Good. Release the hands and step the right foot forward and step back with the left foot. Find that comfortable stance where the hips can stay square to the top of the mat. Interlace the fingers. 2 lanes for the feet helps with the feet separated side to side. And shoulders back, arms straight. Exhale and fold. Drawing the right hip back, releasing, lifting the hands. Inhaling, lengthen. Bring the shoulder blades onto the back as you come up. And now taking the gaze to the ceiling, moving the left hip forward as you gaze up. Pressing the hands to the mat. heel up and release. And step the left foot up beside the right. Yoga flop. Just step it out. So bring the weight into the left foot, hands come to the hips, you find your spot on the floor. We'll do just a simple balance here. Just lift the right knee and straighten the right leg. Flexing the right foot. And then bring the right foot down. Take a breath. Weight to the right foot. And lift the left knee. Flex the foot and straighten the left leg. And then bring the left foot down. Okay, for mountain pose, inhale the hands up. Exhale, fold. And come to half lift. And hands to the mat, step both feet back into plank. Take a breath in full plank. And bring the knees down to the mat into table. Take a breath here in table. Just moving gently. And bring the feet around to the front. Take the feet wide. Flex the feet. Point the toes back toward your face. Lift up tall here. And keep a bend in the knees as you fold between the wide legs. And you can take a hold of the shins or the ankles or the toes as you come forward. Take a breath in wide-legged seated fold. Inhale and come up and turn the heart toward the right knee and fold over the right leg. And coming up, now fold over the left leg. And inhaling, come up. Good. Bring the feet back in, halfway in toward the hips. Find your balance here. And you can make this a gentle Navasana, a gentle boat. Just breathing here in this bent knee balance pose. And options are to straighten the right leg. Left foot can be on the floor. And then straighten the left leg, bending the right knee. And switch back. And extending the left leg. Coming back to that bent knee. Hands on the knees. And bring the feet down to the mat with the soles together, heels in close to the body, into cobbler pose. And if you choose, you can slide the feet away a little bit, come into butterfly. Just rounding here, the head toward the feet. And inhaling, come up. Bring the hands behind the knees and gently come down onto your back. Bring the feet all the way into the hips. We'll just do some gentle bridges. So feet are hip width, in close to the hips. And if you want, you can even bring them in where you can touch the back of the heels with the fingertips. And as you inhale, press with the feet. Gently roll those hips up toward the ceiling. Exhaling, let the hips come down. Inhaling, pressing, hips lift. Exhaling, lower. And one more bridge, and we'll take a breath or two in bridge here. So with the hips lifted, a couple things you could do: roll the shoulder blades under the back toward the center, interlace the fingers underneath the body, press the heels of the hands together and move the hands toward the feet. Keeping the hips lifted. Take 2 deep breaths right here. And release the interlaced fingers. Exhaling, slowly lower the hips down. Bring the soles of the feet together, the knees wide. And then you can rest the hands on the inside of the upper thighs, upper legs. Just that little bit of touch helps open those legs just a little bit more. Bring the hands to the outsides of the legs and bring the knees back up to the ceiling. Straighten the right leg, bring the left knee into the chest. Good. Take the right knee up and over toward the right shoulder. Good. And now straighten the right leg, bring the left knee into the chest. And then draw that left knee up and over toward the left shoulder. Bring the right knee in beside the left, gently rock side to side. Draw circles. And bring the feet down, and your choice, you can have the feet mat width or hip width or the feet and knees together. But let the knees fall to the right, turn your gaze to the left. Knees to the ceiling and knees to the left, gaze right. And bring the knees to the ceiling. Legs long and big, long, full body stretch as you inhale deeply. And exhale into your Savasana. Whatever position is most comfortable for you. And just soften completely, melting into the mat. Wiggle the toes, move the fingers, roll the wrists, roll the ankles, bend the knees and elbows. And when you're ready, you can roll to one side, gently pressing up. So thank you for practicing with me today. Enjoy the nice sunny day. Spring is coming, and namaste. The light in me honors the light in you.